Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Haley. Today we're going to talk about some vocabulary words from a story that we're going to do this week. So we're just going to work on the vocabulary today, but then we will take this vocabulary and read about it in our story tomorrow. And I'm actually not going to tell you the story because I don't want to give it away yet. I want it to be a surprise. But remember, in order to understand the story, we have to understand some of the words that are in the story. So I pulled out about 8 of some of the words that I thought might be a little tricky in the text. So we're just going to go over them. And here's what I would like for you to do. I'd like you to get like a sticky note or a piece of paper and write down the words that I have here. And I want you to do this. As you're writing them, I want you to say the words so that you can get that in your brain. The very first word is the word plucked. And I want you to write the word plucked. And as you're writing the word plucked, I want you to write the P, the L, and go on down through. And I want you to say the word plucked. Get that in your brain. So go ahead and write the word plucked. All right, the next word is the word yanked. Yanked. And I want you to say the word as you're writing it to yourself so it can get stuck in your brain. Yanked. The next word is grunted. I want you to write the word grunted, and I want you to say it as you're writing it. Grunted. The next word is risky. And I like kind of how big it got when I typed it on my own sticky note. See how that word is a lot bigger than the other words? Risky. I want you to write that on your paper or on your sticky note. And as you're writing, I want you to say the word risky. The next word is the word wealth. Wealth. As you're writing it on your sticky note, say it as you're spelling it out. Say the word wealth. The next word is the word clever. As you're writing the word clever, I want you to put the C and the L, and as you're writing it, I want you to say the word clever. How's it going? If I'm going too fast, one thing that you could do is just pause the video as you're writing. The next word is the word profit. Profit. Go ahead and write the P and the R and the O and the F and the I and the T. And as you're writing it, say profit. And the last word is harvest. Harvest. Write the word harvest and say it as you're writing it. Harvest. Now we went through and we said all of the words as we were writing them. And so now I want you to take a look at the words. And if you already know what the word means, I want you to put a star in the corner. If you're not sure how to make a star, I'm going to show you. I always start with like an A, but when I do my A, I go way out like that. And then meet down like that. So there's an example of a star. If you know the word plucked, put a star in the corner. If you know the word yanked, put a star in the corner. If you don't know them, that's okay, because that's why we're doing this. If you're not sure what they mean, you no need to put anything. Just leave it blank. So go through and see if there's any that you know, put a star in the corner. All right, then if you know them and you've put a star, but if you've heard them before, but you're not really sure what they mean, that's okay too. I want you to put a question mark. You've heard it, but you're not really sure what it means. So put a question mark in the corner. All right. So you've heard it, but you're not real clear on what the meaning is. That's okay. Put the question mark. And then the last one is, if you have never heard of it, and you're not sure what it means, just leave it blank. All right. So you should either have a blank in the top corner, you should have a star if you know what it means, or you should have a question mark if you're not really sure, but you've heard of the word. All right. And then Mrs. Haley is going to help you to learn these words. All right. At the bottom of this, I actually have the definitions for each one of these words, and we're going to go through them and learn all about them. All right. I'm going to match it up. I'm going to make them a little smaller so that we can see everything. All right. And if you were kind of looking at the words and talking about them and thinking about them, you might be able to, if you're familiar with the vocabulary and the definitions. I was looking at these three words and noticing something about them. And I was noticing that they all end in ed. So that tells me what? When a word ends in ed, that tells me that it's probably a verb, which means it already happened. It happened in the past. So if I take the ed off of this word, it's the word pluck. If I take the ed off of this, it's grunt. And this one's yank. Those are actually all verbs, and they're all in past tense because they end in ed. Do you see how that is? So that tells us a little bit of something about those words. I noticed this over here when I'm talking about harvest and profit and wealth, that could all go together. We'll figure that out in a minute, what I mean by that. And these, I think, go together because they are like behaviors or things that can be adjectives. You could have a risky behavior. You can have clever behavior. So I'm really interested in what the story is going to be about based on some of these words. So let's go and talk about what they mean. So let's start with the word plucked. Has anybody ever plucked something? That means you are going to take a hold of it and remove it from its place. So I always think about this maybe with apples, or if you're pulling strawberries off of the bush, you might pluck the strawberry. You're going to take a hold of it and you're going to quickly remove it from its place. That's something that you can do. You can pluck it. Excellent job. What about grunted? Some of you probably know what grunted means. It means we're going to make a really low, short grr sound when you grunt. Can you think of something that might grunt? I'm thinking of some animals that might grunt. Maybe a pig would grunt. I'm thinking about that. How about yanked? I think plucked and yanked are very similar, because yanked means you're going to pull it really hard with a jerk. And I'm thinking about this. Sometimes when I used to have ponytails, people used to yank on my ponytail, and sometimes it would hurt. They would pull it really quickly with a jerk. What about risky? Risky means, it could be dangerous. It could be something that you are going to lose if you take a chance at it. Risky behavior isn't always something that comes out positive. For example, if you get up on a railing or something and you know you might be able to fall, that's a risky behavior. You may not fall, but if you do, you could get very hurt. I don't want you to do that, by the way. Clever. Clever means you are quick to understand something. Quick to understand, quick to learn, or you're quick to devise plans or get ideas. Another synonym for clever is intelligent. Wealth. A wealth is some type of abundance of valuable possessions or money. You could have a wealth of something that's not money. You could have a wealth of love. I consider that to be wealth. I'm wealthy because I have a lot of love for my family and my family loves me. You could have a wealth of other things as well. Something that you have an abundance of, which means lots of. Harvest means you are going to gather crops. And finally, a profit is some type of financial gain. Financial is like money. So anything when we talk about finance, it's about money. And so a profit is a financial gain. So those are the definitions of our words. If you want to stop the video and write your definitions down, you can, because I'm actually going to ask you to do something else after this. We're going to do where we remember by making a visual or a picture. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to take the word plucked and we're going to say it's taking a hold of something and quickly removing it. And I want you to think of a picture that's going to help you remember the word plucked. So remember I talked about the strawberry bush? I could put a picture of strawberries. You can do this with yourself. You can draw a picture, or you can get one from the internet, and you can put it next to your definition. It's not letting me do that, is it? I should save it. Look at that ripe strawberry. If I wanted to pluck it, I could, and then you know what I would probably do? Wash it off and eat it. So I could put that down as my picture on my Jamboard. I could draw a strawberry. And that reminds me that the word plucked means I'm going to take that strawberry and I'm going to pluck it off of the branch, wash it off, and eat it. And there's my strawberry. I'm going to put some, probably can't see those dots very well. Make them bigger. Can't even do that. You could do this better at your house. But that's pluck. I'm going to take a hold of that and I am going to pluck it off of, maybe I'll do this, and I'll draw a line showing me taking it off of the branch or the bushel. So that's the word plucked, and I'm going to draw a picture to go with it. All right, boys and girls, that's our lesson for vocabulary today. Go ahead and take the rest of these words, and you can do the same thing I just did with the word plucked. You can draw a picture that goes along with the meaning of your word so that you can help your brain remember what those words mean. Tomorrow, we are actually going to find these words in a story that I will read. I hope you enjoy this. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.